If you read the Bitcoin white paper, you'll see it written very clearly. Bears are smelly and poop in the woods. There is a Bitcoin bull market coming. Why? It's because we're all poor. That's right. Straighten your back, baby dolls. Take a seat over there. If you are new here, I'm going to show you this juicy chart here. Have you ever seen this? Look at this. A breakdown of household equity and mutual fund ownership by generation. Look at this. Baby boomers, friends. Look how much baby boomers own of stonks. Do you see that? Baby boomers own 53% of the stonk market. What does that tell us? Think about the crises, economic crises, geopolitical issues, everything that makes things uncertain with stonks and retirement funds and 401ks. All those uncertainty and jitters can be fixed by money printing. The baby boomers, they can't stomach the pain because they're so late in their lives. They need the stonks to be up there. And if the stonks go down, it needs to be rescued. But how does it get rescued? All the bondholders, all the people owning or earning fiat get wrecked. You get debased. This is going to keep going as long as politicians get elected because it's the only tool they have. That is the bullish undertone for crypto. Of course, within pockets of crypto, the game is getting harder. You can't just go and buy Bitcoin and expect some massive retirement. For example, Bitcoin 40K to 80K is a freaking 2x. What if we stop there? I mean, think about this, friends. Even if we get 120x, which is crowd consensus now, from 40 to 120 is a 3x. Is that what you really came for? You risk this whole thing. Of course, friends, we know this is Bitcoin ETF, all the scamming coming along, okay? So don't let anybody fudge you out of their bags, but also don't let anybody tell you to go leverage and go buy tops because we are in the then they fight you phase. Still, the gloves are on. They are fighting us in the arena. It's fascinating to see that the baby boomers are still a big part of stonks, and millennials, right, are down here tiny, 3%. Millennials like crypto. There is a different paradigm of what's happening when it comes to business transactions. Okay, now I learned this from Mark Yusko. It's actually very interesting. He said, the silent generation, friends, the silent generation here, okay, these people live basically to World War II. If you asked a silent generation person, okay, grandmas and grandpas, like older than them, if you asked them, how do you make a business? They believed economic business and production was warehouses, capital machines, conveyor belts, the big chimneys going up, right? Wooden horses. That's what they believe has to do with capital production. They always use these words, okay? They always use like the big Simpsons type, the big nuclear power plants, those types of like imagery coming out there. Industrial, coal mining. That's how they believed businesses should be built. And guess what? That's what were being built during their time. But then baby boomers came along, friends. And baby boomers, their business paradigm was not capital production and all these and working chimneys in the coal mines. Their businesses were services. Okay, so they evolved. So people in the baby boomers was all about services. It was about, we had airlines coming up. We had people with different companies out here, right? Remember, we had the telephone exploding. People like, customer care, banking, all these things come out like, hi, how are you, friend? Come and be my friend too. Right hand on my left shoulder, left hand on my right shoulder, okay? This type of weird stuff coming on. We think of it as weird now. Remember, customer service as well. Like, hey, let's show this vacuum on TV. Like, wow, I'm being so pleasant to you, okay? After the baby boomers, friends, comes Gen X. Now, there was another paradigm shift. After the baby boomers, remember, baby boomers were services focused. Now the Gen X paradigm of business was stocks. It is online internet stuff. Okay? It is ordering Uber online, ordering pizzas from your couch. It's all about technology here. It's all about Microsoft, Bill Gates, software, okay? And it's distributing everything out electronically, digitally, okay? Birthing the web, Web 1 and Web 2. That's what Gen X is, okay? Started with Web 1, which is read only, which is websites only, right? So you had things like Amazon, and you had things like, Google came up, okay? Just search engines. and selling advertising space because you're reading the advertising, okay? And then that moved to Web 2, which is read and write, okay? So it's not just reading. Now it's reading and writing. That's social media, okay? So that is also GenX as well. You see Mark Zuckerberg coming in being an android, okay? Weird-looking reptilian dude coming in with his weird haircut. And then now we're interacting with the customers of the platform, okay? So that is GenX. Remember, we started with the silent generation. The silent generation was, coal and chimneys and capital production and all these, okay? Industrial revolution. Went into services for the baby boomers, and now we moved to technology with GenX. But guess what, friends? It doesn't stop there, because after GenX come the millennials. And of course, the millennials have crypto. It's Web 3 now, okay? So remember, Web 1 was read only, reading the website. Web 2 was read and write. It's social media, right? It's a social media revolution. It's Facebook, okay? It's Instagrams, okay? Now we have Web 3, which is read plus write plus ownership, okay? Now you can own things on the internet. You can send people JPEGs. You can send people like loyalty passes, right? You can send people tickets of validation. You can send your store of value, access to your yield, even financial bonds. Like, for example, like you have Hedron encapsulating a hex stake. We have all these things. We can send people stuff, the stable coins and all these things going on. Ownership, transferring. That's what Bitcoin unlocked. That's why we're all here in Ethereum and altcoins, smart contracts, layer 1 platforms, okay? You see this pattern of things over time. We are still early because people don't get it, okay? Now, I'm sitting here on a squeaky chair telling you I don't know what's happening in the future, but I can tell you one common theme I know is millennials think stocks are trash, okay? The millennials you see on Wall Street Bets and all these other Reddit cuck sites, okay? These are people who are closer to Gen X. They still don't get it. They don't really belong. They missed out on the internet tech boom, okay? Maybe some of them have binked it. Most of them haven't because they don't realize that the debasement of currency is kind of crushing them out. They're watching these crypto kids like us make like 300Xs and then lose it all on leverage, okay? So they're watching this thing going on. They don't know what's going on. They don't get it yet. Why? It's because we're early. It's because they don't see the real world applications yet. So they are watching businesses around crypto, but they don't even think they're businesses. They don't even use the word business. Why? Because we don't make any money. Where's the profit? Remember, even in the last bull market in 2021, I allocated a certain portion of my portfolio. This is while I was in 2020, planning for 2021 bull market. I had certain portions of my portfolio which just bought the most profitable protocols in crypto. Guess what? Went nowhere. Trash. Underperformed to Doge and JPEGs and DeFi 2.0 Ponzi's and things like Hex, okay? The new stuff that I'm taking over had absolutely nothing to do with their gains, okay? So this is the way the world's going, friends. Web 3 is where it's at. That is crypto. And I know it makes no sense now. You're like, where's the profit? Where's the profit? Where's the profit? Well, luckily for you, aren't you glad you have a friend like me? I can't figure it out. What's his name? Who told you about things like Metcalfe's Law? Who told you that the market is smarter than you and me? The market gives a value to networks. The market doesn't care that you don't make profit today. It's smart because there's no geographic limitations anymore. You don't have to worry that your business is in this part of town that's blocked off by everything and hard for people to get to. We're in digital cyberspace. Okay, you're watching me through the internet. Okay, super important. Why? When you have a big group of people who are sticking to one asset, one ID, one brand, one ticker, one logo, the market prices it parabolically as more people come in. That's Metcalfe's Law, okay? You can find the user rate, right? Squared gives you the price value. So if a network had 2 people in it, your value is 4. But then if your network went from 2 people to 10 people, now your value is 100. Think about that, friends. You went from 2 people to 10 people. All you did was add 8 people and your value went from 4 to 100. Bang. You multiplied the people by how much? By like 5. You multiplied the people by 5 from 2 to 10. Okay. The number of people in a group You just 5x'd it. But guess what? The value went from 4 to 100. And if you do that, I mean, you could do that, right? 100 divided by 4, huge. There you go, like 25x. You see, that's your parabola, okay? And people still don't get it. They're like, oh, it's all a scam, it's all a scam. Yes, it does seem like a scam because there's no direct profits being made today, okay? But the market is always right. It knows what it's doing. That's why Bitcoin hasn't gone to zero. There are people permanently in the Bitcoin network because it was Genesis 1 blockchain. They refused to leave. By the way, I'm going to give you some nice, gentle music, angel music, okay? These concepts, really important. They give you the conviction to hold, okay? Because you're going to be in a coin. For example, I'll give you an example. I'm in ChainLink. I am in ChainLink. New kids on the block come, okay? They say they've got big willies. They say they've got shinier glasses, and then they have more sponsorship potential, and they're faster, and they're sexier. They claim this. I know from everything I just taught you in this video that it all comes down to Metcalfe's law. The number of people who are in the ChainLink network far dwarfs anything that they claim. And if they start getting a larger amount of adoption, I'm going to pay attention, okay? And there's still going to be swings up and down when that happens, okay? That's the most important part because everybody finds it so easy to just make a new coin and make these new claims, okay? Anybody can make a coin and a logo and a ticker, friends. And yes, of course, you're going to get people who believe them. The hard part is getting a group of people to stick by it like glue. That's why the more you have memes and the cult and content creators and people who are sticking their logos and tattoos and all of these, you increase the probability that whatever you're in survives. Now, of course, there are going to be exceptions where it doesn't kind of work out. For example, I mean, XRP Army is still around after 10 years. There is an army. Everybody owns it. The problem is XRP versus Bitcoin is down 70% since 2013, okay? So you can't just take this one rule and go, oh, well, it's a kind of cult, we're going to win no matter what. No, we still exhibit periods of greed and euphoria. But at least you know the bullish undertone now, friends. I've made your balls drop. And your ovaries too, okay? I've enlarged your balls. This is what you need to hold because most people you don't even know what you're holding. You're holding a group of people who have committed in this network, okay? And I always tell you, crypto is a super long duration asset, okay? It's not short-term cash flow or whatever. We're betting on the future, okay? What are we really betting on, okay, friends? We are betting at some point in the future, which we don't know, there will be enough tools and smart contract applications with easy user interface that would connect whatever cult wants to connect to the main crypto rails. Very easy, okay? Now, I'm going to make this example up out of my bum, but it doesn't really matter, okay? It doesn't matter that this may exist or may not exist, okay? For example, imagine you were a bank and your bank card, like a credit card, had access to smart contract platforms, right? Let's say your card linked Ethereum and Pulse Chain, Solana, Matic, BNB, any chain you wanted. You could swap any asset to any asset. Now imagine your card as well had a feature. Whenever you would do any bill payment, whether it's the internet or real life, it had a feature where it would auto buy, rounding up your fee payment, it would go buy whatever coin you wanted, all right? Let's say you want to accumulate, for example, Hex, and someone made like a Hex bank card. And let's say you had like a transaction of like $4.40, all right? Well, they have these things called roundups, okay? Now, they already have this for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's say you buy something for $4.40, it'll round it up to $5, and that extra 60 cents, it'll go buy Bitcoin for you automatically. And it just does this in the background, okay? Now, I want you to imagine this world, these types of things happening for coins that we don't even know exist yet, okay? But I'm just touching the surface here with one little example. Now, why I've used this example is I wanted to link something in the real world to you because right now, we are just gambling in an online casino. We can't possibly see how anything in the real world can actually come here and make money, okay? However, when you have Web3 now, And every website's going to have like a MetaMask login, right? Hopefully it's not MetaMask. Hopefully it's something else that isn't fake DeFi trash compromised by JP Mosquito, okay? But you can see the future and how big and expansive it eventually gets to be, okay? So it doesn't matter what coin you have. That's why I'm telling you, the coin that has strong community, who stays relevant, they're the ones who win. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to what I said, friends, Metcalfe's law. The number one sin in crypto is to be forgotten. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button all. Don't forget he loves you. Tell your mum and dad you love them too. Catch you soon.